Happy Tuesday morning from the grapevine again. I'm out here picking again. I've not been able to pick in the last few days because my shoulder has had a trapped nerve in it or something. I went to see Tina yesterday at Dr. Hussein's, and she gave me steroid shot and some steroids, and we're going to try and see if that works. If not, she says we'll come back and do an MRI. I just hope it's nothing to do with this rotator cuff. I know y'all see me post on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, about all I do as far as paint the house and make jelly and pick grapes. And I call them grapes because I have some muscadines and some scuppernongs, and they're all different varieties and colors, which actually adds to the flavor of the jelly, if you ask me, because you get notes of all of those. You get the purple and the bronze, which all have different flavors. And I think, let's see, how much have I put up? Probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, that'd be 24, probably, I don't know, about 30 jars so far, just picking and, doing them as I was picking them. And there are tons of grapes still left on these vines, and I'll probably get that many more done at some point. You have to say, how many more jars of jelly do I need? But, they don't make like this every year. We have not had this type of a grape crop in probably years, because I used to come out and pick when Richard lived here, and we've never had this amount of grapes. And I've still got some that won't be ripe probably for a week. That's those, I call them black. The purple, they take longer to get ripe. But I think a lot of what I do when I don't feel like doing, just because if I only did when I didn't feel well, I wouldn't do, if that makes sense. I know that's a whole lot of improper grammar for you English teachers, but you know what I'm saying. And I think I get a lot of that drive from my Pawpaw. He was in a really bad accident. He worked for Scotch from the time he was young to the time he was 52. And he was in an accident, a really bad accident. It was him and a bunch of guys on the back of a truck. And I never can remember who he told me. And some of you may know who was on there, because it may be some of your family members. Some got killed. Pawpaw's leg was broken so severely that it got caught up in a fence. They were over the railroad tracks in Fulton, if any of you guys know, or well, a lot of you will know where I'm talking about, down where the Lucers live now, I think, as best as I could tell. And he said there used to be a fence down there, and he wound up in that fence with his leg. I don't know what the word would be. Vertical up against him. And the way he always used to like to tell it was old Dr. Neil had talked about amputating it, and he begged him not to because he wouldn't be able to make a living for a family. And at this time, he was not married. He was young. He was in his teens. And Dr. Neil said it won't be easy, but we'll do what we can. And so they brought in, he called them smut pots and maggots. And you would never hear of anything like this going on today, I don't think. But back then, thank God Dr. Neil was willing to try. And they ate out all of the bad tissue and left the good. And I think Pawpaw was in the bed on his mother and daddy's front porch because of the heat back during then. I think that's the only way he could stand to lay out there all that time. And he just healed for many years. I say many years, many months. And they didn't think he'd ever walk because one leg was significantly at that point shorter than the other one. So he walked with a limp, which is odd because I think that there was another Chester Andrews that had a limp as well. But anyway, so Pawpaw was, call it hard-headedness, good old-fashioned, don't give up, I don't know. But anyway, he didn't give up then. And then many years later, in his 70s, he had a major stroke. Couldn't talk, couldn't walk. He was bedbound. They said he would never talk, walk, or anything else again. And he did. So, anytime I think, I don't feel like doing that, I think, Pauline, get your butt up. But anyway, can you tell I'm in my feels this morning? So sorry. Don't mean to cry on here. But anyway, happy Tuesday. Get your butt up. Do what you can.